Hey. Good morning. Well, afternoon. Hello again. I know I literally filmed a video yesterday. This might be more frequent now that I'm on my own. But yeah. Hello. I wanted to come and chat to you because obviously yesterday I was not doing well. I'm still not doing well, but I'm not crying at least. I went to my grandma's yesterday for dinner, and it wasn't that great to begin with. I walked out to the car, I was sobbing. My mum was just yelling at me. She was like, "You don't have to come if you don't want to." And I was like, "No, it's fine." And then she was like, "You don't have to come if you don't want to. You can stay here if you won't want to come." And I was like, "It's not that I don't want to come, I'm very upset." And she was like, "Yeah, but you can't be sat crying at grandma's all the time." And I was like, "I don't want to be on my own right now." So she was just like, and then a bit later on she was like, "Have you got much hair left under that hat?" Oh, pardon me, fucking hell. Oh my god, pardon me. Have you got much hair left under that hat? And I was like, "No, not really." And she was like, "Show me." And then I pulled my hat off. And then she was like, "Oh my god. You had such lovely hair." I was just like, fuck off. Fuck off. What the fuck? And then I was just like, well, it was too matted. I couldn't deal with it. It was way too matted. I tried and I washed it, brushed it, washed it, brushed it, tried. Nothing was going on. Even when I cut it out and tried to brush the mat and tried to rip apart the mat, it still wouldn't fucking happen. It was not gonna happen. It was not gonna be saved. So, fresh start, cut my hair. It grows back. It's my hair. I can do what I fucking want, right? But she was just like, and then she was like, "Yeah, well, it's because you don't ever brush it." And I went, "Well, yeah, it's because I'm depressed." She was just like, and then shut up for the rest of the journey. And she didn't hug me like once the entire time. Like, there was this one point where I started crying because everybody walked out of the room and Case was struggling a lot up there, messaging me. So I burst into tears and she came in and she just like stood over me, just like, "Why are you crying? Stop crying. What? There's no point crying. Why are you crying?" And just like, didn't like put a hand on my shoulder or anything kind of supportive, just Grandma didn't really mention anything, didn't say anything about like, "Are you okay?" or anything, even though I was very visibly upset. And I was just like, this is fucking awful, I fucking hate this, I don't want to be here. And then my uncle and other aunt came, and they arrived and they were like, "Hey, you alright?" And I was just like, and they were like, "What's wrong?" I was just like, "Casey left today." And then they're just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And like, they actually gave me like a proper genuine hug and like was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And like, oh, like it felt a little bit better, you know, to actually kind of be a little bit supported. But yeah, so then a little bit later on, I was sat with Michael, my uncle, who I'm very close with. You know, we're very similar, me and him. He's very like emotional and clingy as well, like I am. And he looked at me and he was like, "So when are you gonna see them again?" And I just went, "I don't know." And they just went, "What? You don't know?" And I was like, "Don't do this, I'm gonna cry." Like, seeing him actually get kind of upset at the idea of the fact that I didn't know when I was going to see him or see them, you know, like, it was just quite validating, you know, and yeah, like, he looked like visibly upset at that idea, you know, that I didn't know when I was going to see them. And then he like looked down and he turned to me, and I've had this repeating in my head since, you know, I've had this literally playing over and over in my head. He looked at me and went, "What's keeping you here?" And I was like, and I just couldn't answer him, you know, like, what is keeping me here? Like, the flat, the cats, you know, I don't want to split the cats up if I was to leave Zeph, I guess, having somebody there, even though she's not great, it's somebody, you know, like, my mum was just like, okay, when I said that I'm upset in case he's leaving, you know, I walk into the flat, and she's like, it's okay, come here, sit down, do you want a hug, you know, like, she actually is supportive when it's needed sometimes, you know, so it's like, it's better than nothing, you know, so it's like, the familiarity of here and home, and but what is keeping me here, you know, I could take Zeph and the cats and make a home there, you know. And then I was like, well, I'm applying for uni, and when I thought about uni, whenever I've brought it up, you know, it sounds exciting to start doing something and be back into a space and be active and meet people and all that, but like, my stomach drops every time I talk about it or think about it, and there was some kind of gut instinct that it wasn't right, and I was like, I feel like there's something wrong here. And then after we had this conversation, me and Michael, like, and he said, just, what's keeping you here? Why don't you go? You know, I went out and sat in the garden for a bit, and I just thought about it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go to uni right now, you know, like, necessarily. Like, when me and Case had a conversation, we sat and we spoke about everything we want, you know, I never mentioned uni. I didn't say I want to go to uni here. I didn't say I want to be on the Plymouth course. I didn't say I want to stay here. I said I want a house. I want to settle down. I want to get cozy. I want to be with you. That's what I want, you know? And nothing's stopping me from doing that, you know? And I think I just sat and I realised that that's all I was getting. When I was at my grandma's, all I was getting was, oh, Casey's off. What are you doing now? Oh, they're at uni? They started now? Okay, so what are you doing? Oh, did you know that clearing is still available? You can still sign up for uni this year if you want to. Do you know you can do that? Oh, so you finished college now, so you applying for uni now? And it was literally every single person in my family turned around and was like, oh, so uni? And it's like, clearly, this is being shoved into my head by everyone around me, that's what I'm supposed to do, you know? That, like, Casey's doing it, so I've got to do it, you know? But I just sat there and I was looking around everything and at the situation, and it's like, I'm 25. When my grandma was 25, she moved away to live with her husband, had 2 kids by then, you know? I'm 25, I should be able to do what I want, you know, and not have them looming over me going, right, you've got to do this, you know? And like, the more I sat and realised it, the more I realised how much they infantilized me, you know? I still view myself as like a teenager that needs to be cared for, you know? And they still view me as a teenager that needs to be cared for, you know? They bring me food, they come and take my washing to do, you know? They've never taught me to stand on my own 2 feet and be an adult so that they can keep me as a child and keep caring for me and keep me under their thumb, you know? Like, they were offended I cut my hair, And they're offended I get tattoos and stuff, and it's like, it's my body. I'm 25. I'm not 18. I'm not a fresh adult who is learning how to be independent, you know. I'm 25. If I want to follow my partner while they do a uni course, then I should have every fucking right to. If I don't want to go to uni now, then I shouldn't have to, you know? And like, I think I've just had this fear in the back of my head, or I've had this niggling thing in the back of my head that I can't leave. I can't leave Plymouth. I can't leave safety. I can't do these things, you know? It was like, oh, how are we supposed to cope separate? Well, what's keeping me here? It's echoing in my head over and over again. What is keeping me here? Nothing. Nothing's keeping me here. You know, like, that therapy's shit. My doctors are shit. I'm not on a specialist right now. You know, like, sure, I'll have to change GPs, but, you know, it's like, Casey really wants to do this course, and I can see it, I can feel it in them, that they are desperate for this course and this chance, this opportunity, you know, and they missed their first day yesterday because it was so hard leaving me, you know. They literally left here and went off to their, tried to make it to the end of the first day and missed it because it was way too hard to leave, you know. And it's like, why put ourselves through that? Why should we, for no reason, why should I make it 10 times harder for Casey to do this course and actually kind of give them what they want, you know, by staying here? Like, there's no reason. If it's gonna be dragging them back here constantly and freaking them out because they're constantly away from me, you know, like, they're never gonna be able to study and put their full attention into uni. Whereas if I move up or near and they're only 5 minutes away, they can see me whenever it gets too much, I'll be there, you know. And it's like, I can do uni anywhere, and I can do it any time, you know. I've waited fucking this long, you know. Most people go at 18 or whatever, fresh out of school, whereas, like, I'm 25, I've waited this long, what's an extra year or whatever, you know? Like, why rush for clearing now for this year in Plymouth because I'm here, when, yeah, I could just follow what I want, you know? That was the first thing. When it first came up and they were moving, our first instinct was, come with me. And I was fully on board, you know? But then the idea of living on my own and separating the cats and moving to London on my own was all just too much. And I said, no, I'm gonna wait until you're not in halls and I'll move with you. But what's keeping her here either, you know? What's keeping Zeph here? As much as some things are difficult and she's definitely got factitious disorder or something, you know, she is still my friend, you know. I do still care about her, and, you know, I wouldn't want to fuck her over in this situation either by just upping and leaving her in this place where she's got nothing, you know. And it's like, the only thing that she likes about here is her job, which she could transfer over wherever we go. But yeah, it just keeps, like, echoing in my head, you know, what's keeping you here. And, like, I take a lot of inspiration from Michael, I think, you know, like, I always have done. My family have been very kind of set in their ways, except for him. He has always been the kind of outcast and the black sheep of the family, if you get me. And I used to just follow him around, like, he's so cool. Like, he's the painter, tattoo artist, you know, rather than the preppy Tory rest of my family. But yeah, like, seeing how he has been throughout his life of just, no, I'm doing what I want, you know. They like, oh my god, tattoo artist, no, dirty. He was like, fuck you, and just did it, you know. Like, And him and his partner, you know, they were together 2-3 years, and my family are like, when are you getting married? When are you having babies? Blah, 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 blah. 7 years later, he proposes. She's absolutely fine with it, you know, like, you got to do what you got to do, you know, like, if you want to get a house and adopt 20,000 pets, then that's your choice, you know, and if you want to go to uni, then go to uni. If you want to get a job, get a job. But it shouldn't be up to your family or the other people around you, you know? Like, if it was Casey's choice, they would probably, I don't know, either choose for me to go to uni here or choose me to go to uni with them, or, I don't know, you know? Like, it's not anybody else's choice but mine and Zeph's if she moves with me, you know? And I think that's what would be the better thing, you know? Why put ourselves through 3 years of torture when I could just move? What's wrong with moving? You know, what is keeping me here? Nothing. My family's hook on me, you know? And it might, like, make them realise, you know, that they can't just control me and they can't just keep me here and keep me under their wing, you know? Like, I'm 25, I should be able to go wherever I want. If I want to move to LA tomorrow, I should be allowed, you know? And it's been drilled into my head that I'm not. Whereas I'm trying to realise, you know, I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's like, I was sat there and thinking about it. I just pulled out my vape and started smoking out the garden. And then I was like, I don't know if any of them know I smoke. Oh well. Fuck it. I can do what I want. And it's like, my mum has tried a vape now, and she handed it to me to try it, and I was just like, nice, and I pulled out mine and showed her, and she was like, wait. And I was just like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it? You literally can't fucking stop me. And then, yeah, my granddad came over and was like, what's that? What else are you smoking? And I was like, it's a vape. And he was just like, it's like, there's no point in hiding it. You know, like, my mum has been smoking since before I was born. Way before I was born. Smoked my whole life. She's on like 2 packs a week, you know, of Becky. Like, she smokes. My grandma, no idea. Well, she knows, but everyone pretends that my mum doesn't smoke and that my grandma doesn't know. Like, she, like, sneaks around the back of the house to have them, and, like, we'll have one as soon as she leaves, and I'm like, what? And it's like, Michael will just sit in the living room with his vape. Because why lie about it? You're an adult. You can do what the fuck you want. If you want to smoke, smoke. If you want to drink, drink. If you want to learn to drive, drive. It's like they've taken my car off me, and I was saying I want to get my car up and running again, and they were like, oh no, you can't do that. And I was like, why? And they're like, oh, we've taken the battery out. Put it back in. Oh no, it won't work. Why? I'll take it to a garage. Oh, you won't be able to afford that. Why do you not want me to drive, huh? Why do you not want me to have transport? Is it because then I'll have freedom? Last time I had a car, I drove off to Southampton. Like, they don't want me to have control, you know? They want to control my washing, my food, you know? My mum is my guarantor. It's like they have this hold over us, you know? And I've got to start realising what I want in life. And the only thing I want in life right now is to be with Casey, to be with both of my cats, and to support them through uni. I don't want them to leave, you know? Because selfishly, I could say, no, baby, come home. Come to me. Come to our safe space, please. I can't take it. And make them leave and give up this opportunity. But that's a fucking dick move, you know? I want them to be in uni. I want them to go and do and make and bring it to me and show it to me, but not over Messenger, in person. I want to be there as that support, you know, as that rock. Even if I have to get a job, or, I don't know, have to take up YouTube a bit more to try and get better finance, so we're in a more expensive place or whatever. It's like, you gotta follow what you fucking want, you know? My gut was telling me that if I stayed and I did Plymouth Uni, that's 3 years definitely apart, me and Casey would be, you know? Like, sure, we'd have time off, but like, what if our timetables clashed? What if we didn't have the same half term off or holidays off? Or we might have holidays off, but Casey's got family, I've got family. What if we don't want to see each other, or we can't see each other, or other people want to see us for Christmas? Or you can just see how that's gonna go. It's gonna just get less and less and less and less until we're Thor and Jane and we don't see each other for 8 years. And I don't want that. I want to be there and I want to support them and be, you know? It's like, why? So many comments were saying it's fucking horrible and the best thing was going and being back with them, and it's like, well then why? Why am I staying here and forcing myself to do uni if I'm an adult and I have free will and can just fucking go? You know, it might be hard, it might take a while to find a place and all that shit, you know, it might be a hard move, moving up country, but Casey did it. Why not? You know? You gotta kind of do what your heart tells you. Yeah. This was a rant. But, anyway. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm being, like, spontaneous and, like, just, like, being too stupid? Or do you think I've got a point, you know? Like, I think it all kind of collided, and with Michael saying that, you know, what's keeping you here? You know, one of us has commitments, and they are in London. If we want to be together, then the other is gonna have to move. You know, people follow their partners all the time, you know? Like, I grew up with that, with friends moving off suddenly because, you know, the dad has got a job somewhere else and the wife follows, and, you know, like, my childhood best friend lived in Gibraltar for a few years because moving for work, and another one of my friends lived in Spain, did some moving for work. You know, people follow their partners, you know? When people go, oh, I've got to move to this place for my job, I'm going to be there for 4 years, they don't go, oh, bye, have a good time. Do they? No. Of course they fucking don't. Who does that? They go, okay, it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but let's go. You know? Like, why was it such a non-option for me to do that? Clearly because it's been drilled in my head that I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling, but let me know what you think. Sorry it's another video in like 24 hours. This might happen a lot. Yeah. I need to go find some power, so yeah. Bye. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.